welcome back to my channel. It's gotten really hot here in my part of Sweden, so I have to dress a lot lighter to be able to work at all. I'm not really that good with heat. Sure, it's nice to have a warm and sunny summer though, and not as dry as last year where we had to collect water from the lake to be able to save our vegetables, and we also get a lot of rain now, so it's growing pretty well out in the garden. That's nice, but I still can't really cope myself with these high temperatures that we get now. So sometimes I don't really work in the middle of the day at all. I have to wait until after 4 or 5 in the afternoon if it's really hot. Anyway, I managed to get the paneling up for the main part of the workshop, as you can see behind me. Well, some of it anyway. I didn't finish the trim around the windows and down on the floor and up in the ceiling. I'll tend to that later, but as I said earlier, I am a little bit pressed for time to get back to some commission work and earn some money so I can keep the project going and put food on the table and all of those things. But the interior walls are done, so I can soon move equipment back in here for a little bit. I also finished the paneling in what will be a shelving unit for Powertools later on. And now it's time to put the dust collector in the dust collection room. And that's what I'm going to do now. I have to modify it a little bit, so I'll start by taking it apart more than it already is. But yeah, you'll see what I mean. As you can see, I have put the suction hose with the connection port down here inside of the shelf unit to be, and I will drill a hole in the wall down here to run the hose through, and then I will put the connection port on the wall section that I haven't built yet, but yeah, it's between these studs. And I placed the blower unit at an angle now. This is not my solution of choice, but I lacked some tools to modify it to be able to put it on the wall properly as I would have liked. To do that, I need to disconnect the engine from the fan unit and turn the fan unit a bit so I could use the brackets for the engine and make the connection on the fan unit meet up neatly with the connection on the collection unit. But since I don't have the right tools for that, I will put it like this for now. And I also modified it and shortened this connection hose earlier on. So I need to make a platform 7 inches tall or 18 centimeters if you are more familiar with the metric system, get it up from the ground a bit, or from the floor. It's at an angle, so I can reach the start and stop button easily, walk past it if I need to, and also to get a suitable angle for this V-shaped connection unit. I have never used more than one hose on this, so I will change that sometime in the future, but for now I'll work with what I have, put it like this so I can get the hose nice and neatly through the wall, because you don't want to have too many sharp turns on these hoses. The straighter they are, the better your suction power is. So I'll drill a hole in the wall, and then I will make a platform for the blower, and I'll connect it all and bring in the new jointer planer that I got, which I haven't tried yet. So let's get to it. these ones. I'll probably put some smaller screws here just for the sake of it. The main weight of the blower is from the engine and the motor, and that's held in place with these brackets. This is probably just to not make this vibrate, I guess. Time to get it in place, mark out for the hole. Something like that, I think, will work. I'm gonna make the hole with this hole saw, but first I will use this long drill to make a pilot hole, because I don't want to have to run this any more into the insulation than I need to. It wouldn't hurt if it had some poking holes on the back. Just gonna take the insulation out and run the hose through. It's a fairly tight fit, which I suppose is just good. Here we go. I might add a hose clamp to it at some time, but at some point. But I have never used it, and it's always worked fine without it. So I don't know. I think I'm just going to remove this leg entirely and bolt this frame directly to the wall. But in order to do that, I need some distance between it and the wall, so I can handle the filter bag and the straps that secure it to the frame. So I will just screw these pieces of boards to the wall, and I will put some screws from inside of this through here. Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. mark on the inside of the frame with this punch. So I get a starting point for the drill. Let's see if I can reach it. Now I can remove this leg entirely so I can get the bags in and out here easily. Time to cut the holes to length. It's the same story here. I will attach it with a hose clamp later. I just don't have any hose clamps right now. Not in this size anyway. I will temporarily attach it to the joist here. And when I get more panel boards in, I will remove it, take it apart, drill a hole and put it in the wall properly. But just to get going now, I will put it down here, I think, so I can start using the jointer planer. Earlier about avoiding too much bends in the suction hoses. Of course you can understand that this is not ideal. But it will have to do for a short test run. Right now I'm not sure where I will place this machine, but since it's on casters I can move it and place it wherever I want. The machine is a Kity, produced in France in the 80s or 90s I think, model 637. I got it second hand, in good shape, for a decent price. There will be a door here later, of course, so I don't have to listen to the noise of the blower. But Anyway, now I can do a test run and see if it works. This is for the drive, for the thickness planing. I'm not sure how it's supposed to be right now. I'll just try it and see what happens. I can't seem to get it to work right now, but the seller told me it was a little bit fiddly to get the hang of it. I will just have to take off the cover and look at the mechanism. Then it will be obvious, I think. I won't do it today though, but anyway, the main reason I wanted to try it was to see if the cutter was turning in the right direction. Otherwise I would have had to well, turn the faces on it to make it turn right, but yeah, that was no problem. Anyway, you never really know if it's been in another person's workshop, if the face direction has been opposite and the machine adjusted to that, but in this case I didn't have to do anything, which is nice. Alright, it's in place anyway. As soon as I can get the drive to work, I can start using it. I can use it now for jointing as it is, but I want the drive to work to be able to use it as a thicknesser in the proper way. I can push timbers through it myself, but there is a drive system in it, so I want it to work. I just have to figure out how to put it in gear. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed getting my dust collector assembled and working again. And that was something I needed to do before I could try out my new old jointer planer that I recently bought, because you can't really run one of those without a working dust collector. The seller told me it was a bit fiddly to put the drive system for the thickness planing in gear, so that was expected, but I'll have it figured out until next time. As I stated in my first video, I'm not really an expert in any field, but I have acquired and still acquire knowledge in various fields, and that's sort of the point with the channel, to show the value in learning stuff and be more and more self-sufficient and self-reliant over time by trying things yourself or talking to people or reading books, watching other YouTube channels, but just not being too much held back by the fact that there are things you haven't really done before, and not being afraid to make mistakes the first time, but allow yourself to take the time you need to figure stuff out, and if it's not perfect the first time around, then you will probably do a better job the next time and the next time you try it, and that's what I want to show in this channel. Next time I'll work on a commission that I have laying waiting. That's the main reason I needed to get the dust collector and the jointer planer inside the workshop, so I can start with that, because I'm a little bit pressed for time to finish it. If you want to see what it is, I guess you'll just have to come back for the next video. And if you want to know when I post it, you should consider subscribing to the channel, I guess. And if you find a video or two that you really enjoy, give me a thumbs up. Put a comment down if you want to. Maybe I'll leave an answer, we'll see. Anyway, until next time, take care, and I hope to see you back here.